Hey y'all, and welcome to the All Beings Meditation. My name is Rabia. I use she, her pronouns. I'm located on Tonkawa lands, colonizes Austin, Texas, y'all. And we're still at the beginning of a very new month at Tejal Yoga, which also means it's a new theme. The theme for me that was resonating is being with change. As we transition from winter to spring seasons, we sometimes can notice a sense of newness and hope. And there's also this heaviness that can be carried over from events outside of our control and just the way that the winter may have transpired for you. So, in this month, we'll just be moving through these transitions. And often, even if mentally we're not ready for the transition, externally things are moving. And so, how do we catch up and also let go at the same time? So, we'll be exploring different ways to accept, affirm, create space for, and then ultimately to let go and see what that capacity can call in for us. And what does that mean? What does it create space for? This week in particular, we'll be talking about affirming experiences that have transpired and inviting calm into the awareness. But before we get started, the way I like to start my practices is by inviting a little bit of physical practice. I find that going right into a seated meditation without having full awareness or tapping into the body can just feel a little jarring at times. It is for me. And so you're welcome to mirror my movements. You're welcome to move in any which way that feels comfortable to you. Or if the body is craving stillness, you're also welcome to honor that. So the way that I'll be moving is inviting a little bit of heart opening or chest opening. And so wherever you are, and you can do this practice on the ground like how I am, on a couch, on a bed, on a chair, on an office chair. And we'll start by bringing the arms together, the elbows together. Now, if coming super, super close doesn't feel close to you, you can play with how much space you need. But on the inhale here, we'll go ahead and open up as comfortable as it feels for you. And as you begin to bring the elbows back, maybe we open up just through the chest and take the gaze up, draw a line with the chin. On the zenith of your inhale, when you feel that exhale coming in, we'll bring the arms back in and arms can come to touch. Now, one thing you can add in here is a little bit of a spinal flexion. So if you're thinking more of like cat-cow, on the inhale, we can open. And on the exhale, we can bring the elbows together and round through the spine, bring the elbows in. So that's really just up to the capacity in your body, whatever feels comfortable. We'll move through this 3 more times, inhaling in. And exhale. Inhale in to open, lift, catch a wave. And exhale, bring it back in. Last one, big breath in here. And on the exhale, release the palms, release the arms back down. Awesome. One more movement invite before we come into our practice is just to bring one ear over to one shoulder. For me, it's almost immediate in my neck, the awareness. Now, this may feel more than enough, but you're also welcome to give yourself a gentle assist here. Just not really tugging or pulling, but just a gentle weight on the top of the head to bring some space and breathing into this neck. We'll stay here for 2 deep breaths. Take your time. And on the second exhale, we'll roll the chin in towards the chest and move over to the other side. You're welcome here to bring any movement in if you want to look up and look down. If it feels like the stagnancy in the neck and just it's not feeling good, play around with what feels most comfortable. I'm fully aware that every time we move from one side to the other side of the body, we can have a completely different experience. And the way that the body speaks to us non-verbally in the places that we hold, the tightness that we have. And on the exhale, we'll come back to center. Pausing here for a moment just at the top. And noticing by inviting awareness. What sensations do we feel? And all the times that we spend outside of the body, and all the times that the fear response is asking for us to activate parts of our minds, our body, our brains that is far from embodiment. Taking a conscious moment to feel into the body, noticing the nuances, noticing the sensations. Taking any last moments you may need before we begin to find the body in stillness. And whatever your seat of choice here, we'll take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, begin to soften through the muscles of the seat. So you may notice a holding, a pulling up, a gripping, and we'll take another deep breath in here. And exhale, soften through the muscles of the seat. From this foundation, we'll begin to lengthen the spine as we sit up just a little bit taller, rolling the shoulders up, back, and down, and a gentle lift in the crown of the head. You're welcome to lower the gaze or soften the eyes only if it feels comfortable. And allow the sound of my voice to guide you. Beginning by noticing the way that the body is seated today. The points of contact that the body is making with the seat, the texture, the support of the seat. And beginning to notice the points of contact that the body is making with itself. The ankles crossed underneath the calves, the hands on the knees, the thighs, the arms hugging into the lower ribs. Fully coming into the totality of your being. And we'll begin to shift our awareness gently to the way that the body is breathing today. Noticing the second that we shift our awareness to the breath so beautifully responds by expanding. You're welcome here to place one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly to better feel the movement of the breath in the body. Where do you feel the palms rise? The breath is often mirroring the experiences, the interactions, the dialogues that we have. So when we begin to notice the quality of the breath as it is, with a lens of curiosity, how is the breath communicating to how we've been showing up and the difficulties we've been facing? Philosophy tells us that we are the microcosm of the macrocosm, reflecting the universe and the universe within ourselves. So, if the breath can mirror the experiences that we're having, what can consciously deepening the breath create capacity for? And we'll gently begin to deepen the breath as we inhale in, fill the belly rise, and exhale, release. Inhale in, feel the expansion of the breath into the diaphragm, into the side body. And exhale, let it go. Inhaling in, feel the breath permeating into the extremities. And exhale, release. And allowing the breath to return to its natural state. Remembering that the breath in this practice, in our time, on our journeys, is our anchor. Anytime we feel distracted, overwhelmed, lost in thought, we gently, kindly guide the attention back to the breath, back to the body. As you continue to deepen the breath here, bringing to the screen of the mind all that's transpired for you in the past months, weeks, days. Moving through the experiences that you've had without any labels of good, bad, but an acknowledgement for all that's transpired, for all the ways you've showed up, for the difficulties you faced. The suffering that can be a part of this collective experience. Without judgment and a lens of curiosity, we notice. Taking inventory of how you've been moving through the transition of the season and what's been coming up for you. Inhaling in deeply. Exhale completely. Noticing when we recall or create space for the sensations and the difficulty that's transpired, that reflection comes back in the breath. So, an invitation to breathe deep and exhale completely. Continuing to notice in the ways that you've shown up for yourself and others, the resilience, the generosity, the compassion. Often the dialogue that we have with ourselves can be much harsher than the dialogue we have for others. That when those we love experience difficulties, the love and compassion that we freely give to others just feels inaccessible to the self. So, taking a moment to extend that compassion, to affirm the experiences. This was hard. You showed up. You did your best. I see you. continue to move through the acknowledgments into the affirming of the many ways you showed up for others, for yourself. And as you continue to affirm here, even acknowledging the difficulties, maybe you feel comfortable placing both hands on the heart, maybe rest your awareness, or to give yourself a hug. Extending love and compassion to the self can feel foreign. And so, this is a space of difficulty. Continuing to invite deep breaths in and deep, full breaths out. From this space of acknowledgement, affirmation, seeing, noticing, being, creating space to experience. Bringing to mind one thing you really need to best support your experiences, to move through, and to create room for. Be that kindness, compassion, empathy, love, forgiveness, permission. And as if our awareness is what we're looking for, we'll bring this awareness, this need, this wish at the very top of the head. And we'll begin to rain it down the forehead, down the face, into the jaw, creating some space between the teeth, down the neck, down the throat, down the shoulders, gently let the shoulders go. Down the chest into the heart. Down the abdomen, down the spine into the sacrum. Down both arms simultaneously, moving into the lower body all the way into the tips of the toes. Sitting in the totality of your being with all that you need in this moment, right here, right now. Continuing to deepen the breath, continuing to affirm. We'll take 5 last deep breaths here. Allowing each passing exhale to be just a little bit longer than the one before. When you reach a fifth and final exhale, you may wish to stay in stillness, or maybe you'd like to invite awareness back to the body by gently wiggling the fingers, gently wiggling the toes, maybe inviting a gentle sway in the body from side to side. Or maybe we take a big body stretch as we inhale, taking those arms up and overhead. And exhale, bringing them back and down. Moving in any which way that feels comfortable. And gently fluttering the eyelids closed if they were open. Taking a moment to look around the room. Noticing, taking in your immediate environment, orienting yourself back to your space. And maybe you rest your gaze on one thing, form, function, emotional value that you're really grateful for today. Bringing the awareness to the heart center, maybe bringing the palms together at the heart center. In a moment of gratitude for your presence today. Gratitude for the journey you took on to be here. And gratitude to each other for their presence. The support and wisdom of a community. Gratitude to these yogic practices and teachers indigenous to South Asia and the many lineages we have and continue to benefit from. And lastly, just taking a moment to connect to the land that you're seated on today. Honoring all those that have walked this land, their history, their struggle, their oppression. That we heal for those that came before and those that will come after. Gently beginning to rub the palms together, creating some heat, some energy, some friction. And once we feel that warmth, all that you've cultivated in your practice here today, we'll begin to wash it down the face, down the neck, down the arms, anywhere else you may need it. And of course, arguably my most favorite part of the practice, give yourself a squeeze. Showing up and caring for your mental and physical well-being, showing up to sit with curiosity with the breath, to invite sensation, to move through, breathe with, is an act of courage. So thank you for being brave with me today. I wish you all so much unapologetic rest, ease, and peace as we continue to navigate the strange journey we found ourselves on. And that whatever you are working towards come to fruition in the best way possible for you. We'll close with the message of peace you may wish to repeat. Om Shanti. 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 May all beings everywhere, including ourselves, be in peace. Thank you for your practice today.